In this lecture series, I'm going to introduce the basic histological components of connective tissues. The broad heading of connective tissues includes a wide variety of forms. Specialized varieties vary from liquid to mineralized tissues. Even so, all have several properties in common, especially related extracellular constituents, and many contain the same or related cell types. The purpose of this lecture series is to introduce you to the most generalized ordinary connective tissues. Later lecture series will consider individual specialized connective tissues such as cartilage, bone, blood, bone marrow, lymphatic tissues, and lymphatic organs. Ordinary connective tissues are subdivided into loose or areolar and dense varieties. There is no sharp demarcation between the two. At one extreme, there can be no question that one is dealing with loose tissue. For example, the layer of hypodermis underlying the skin on the backs of your hands that permits the skin to slip around is very loose indeed. And at the other extreme, the dermis of palmar surfaces is unquestionably very dense. The second dimension of variation of ordinary connective tissues is the degree to which the extracellular fibers are aligned. The fibers of regular connective tissue are exactly parallel to each other. Irregular connective tissues have incompletely or even randomly arranged fibers. Such differences in physical characteristics of ordinary connective tissue mainly reflects differences in the amounts and arrangements of the extracellular components, and one can find a continuum of variation as one moves around in the body. In some cases, there is legitimate ambiguity in whether to call a tissue loose or dense, regular or irregular. Although ordinary connective tissue is classified mainly by structural criteria, it has at least two other sorts of functions. First, it provides a pathway for all nerves and blood vessels. So, capillary beds are in connective tissue spaces, and metabolic exchange is through the connective tissue compartment. Secondly, the connective tissues provide the substratum for very important defense mechanisms of the body. It allows the mobilization of cells capable of producing antibodies and other immune-type reactions, as well as for the cells we speak of as phagocytes or macrophages, which are the scavengers of the body. So connective tissues are crucial to all aspects of wound healing. Connective tissues are a crucial and subtle part of histology. I'm now going to sequentially examine first the extracellular components of ordinary connective tissue, and then that will immediately follow by an explanation of the cells of connective tissue. At the end of this lecture series, you should be able to identify the various types of connective tissue and connective tissue fibers and components listed here. Be able to differentiate stromal and trabecular elements from parenchyma of epithelial glands. And identify the cells listed: fibroblasts or fibrocytes, tissue macrophages or histiocytes, mast cells, and the various types of fat cells or adipocytes. And then finally, recognize and know the importance of a lamina propria,